Want to show you radar because we're actually getting quite a bit of lightning, and I do want to show the areas right now if anybody's getting in here where some of this stuff is popping. And as Tony mentioned earlier, we were talking about it. Look at the motion here, slightly from the southeast, but it's almost due south. And because of that, I'm inclined to think that that is going to be an issue for many areas for a while. If you look at it, while this is just one little piece of energy, it's obviously an outflow boundary from something that popped up earlier on today. But I think the fact that we're getting moisture out there, and then look out here down in the Gulf, and we can go even further. If you look down all this, now this is still moving down here as we zoom into this. By the way, this is exactly the best that this is used for this sort of thing when we're talking about any kind of severe weather or even disruptive weather, as we like to call it. But look right here. I mean, out of the stuff out into the Gulf. Why is this not letting me go? There we go. There you go. See that? Okay. All of that stuff is moving from the southeast to the northwest. So what we had up here is an outflow boundary. But again, I think right now we're certainly going to have to look at the possibility of some pretty decent storms popping. Lightning detection, it's been, you know, there's certainly been some storms out there, nothing to write home about. But yeah, again, and you're right, Randy, this is exactly what we were hoping to do. Anytime there's severe weather, anytime there's disruptive weather, I think a lot of weather people get caught up with the whole severe thunderstorm warning, which by definition, 56-mile-an-hour winds or 3/4 inch hail. Well, you know what? It doesn't have to be nearly that strong for people at home to realize it could be pretty nasty, especially, now granted, this time of the night, it's usually not as much of an issue. People getting ready to go to bed, whatever the case may be. Oops. I hit the wrong thing again. The little, the X is right next to the green, and unfortunately, when that happens, it doesn't. It's the little green to make it smaller is right next to the X, like literally right next to the X. Okay, anyway, never mind. So let's grab the bottom part. There we go. Then we can do it like this. It's trial and error, right? Anyway. Okay, here we go. But as I was saying before, I just completely blew it by ruining it. I mean, this really is exactly what we're looking at, and this is why. Notice, yeah, severe thunderstorm warnings are based on 56-mile-an-hour winds or 3/4 inch hail. It's by definition. It's what it actually is. So if you have a 50-mile-an-hour wind or sustained wind, the National Weather Service is not going to issue a warning on it because it's not a severe thunderstorm. So there you go. That's the area right there. How does that look zoomed in? A little blurry. So let's try to pull out just a little bit. Go like that, see if it looks a little bit better. It's actually, what you're going to get, Danny, in Palm Harbor, you are going to get some of this lifting north in about 45 minutes. This is going to go to Lutz. It's going to Carrollwood. It's going to Temple Terrace. And eventually, it's even lifting into Pasco. Now, this is an outflow boundary, so you would think it would start to wind down in a little bit. But it, to me, actually looks like it's getting a little bit stronger. So right now what we're talking about is this is not a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm seeing no warnings from the Weather Service. Lightning detection is showing some lightning, not a ton of it. Winds, if we look at our wind velocity, that's what this would show. You know, nothing really outlandish, nothing really spiking with this. So, and this is called radial velocity. This is the Doppler radar, which looks at the wind and the direction in which the wind is going. So not only do you know how strong it is, but you know in what direction it's going and if there's rotation, and that obviously would be huge in terms of looking where a tornado is. So, yeah, Lutz, you are going to get this. Well, you are getting this right now, as a matter of fact, I'm assuming, Tim. We're pretty darn close, it looks like. It's just southeast of you. Right along 75 is where the bulk of this is lifting into Pasco County. So over by Wesley Chapel, Land O'Lakes, Dunedin, you are getting it too. You're right on the link, on the left side of it. So truthfully, what you're getting in Dunedin in about 20 minutes won't be nearly as impressive as folks in Hillsborough County are getting it. Light rain, as Nick said, in Lutz, some thunder. And again, this is exactly, this right here is what this is so good for, because it allows you guys to ask questions at home, and it also allows me to focus on where some of the worst weather is. Again, this is the Weather Services site. If you go in, you can look how it goes right up on 275 here. Pinellas, this is pretty much from right around Clearwater, just south of Clearwater right now, and heading northward, and it's truthfully going to weaken a little bit. It looks certainly like me right along 75 up through Pasco, and northwestern Polk is going to be getting the bulk of it. Pinellas and Pasadena, not going to get much in Pinellas. There's been a little thin band, and it's extending, as you can see right over there. It's kind of hard to see, it's pixelized, but that is the area that's moving north. So it's going to go through Clearwater, Dunedin, maybe make it up to Palm Harbor, but probably not. The rest of the area, obviously this is the area, New Tampa, over by USF, north along 75, up right on through Pasco County. So that is very much going to be, I would say, the bulk of it. There you go. And in terms of later on, quickly let's look at the RUC, because if you remember, the RUC is the forecast tool that is very, very good in terms of showing us if there's anything organized. Here's the current run. Right on top of it, look at that. See that right there? That's offshore. That's tonight. Here's your current. Well, 0Z, we're not quite to 0Z. Here's in 3 hours, so that's probably about now. And that's not bad. It's not bad. Let's see what they go for 3 hours down the road. There's 6. See, it looks like it's over that period of time, but look at this. This is 1 hour precip, so this is the current precip, and it obviously winds down after about 1 a.m. So then we go up to 12 hours out, and you notice it's all offshore. Hey Stacy, yeah, it is actually thundering and lightning pretty good, isn't it? So again, I think what we're seeing right now, the RUC shows nicely right here. In fact, you'll be able to zoom into it, show you exactly what I'm talking about here. This is the overall period of what we're looking at right there. Okay, and that shows you, no, nothing new. The new tropic runs don't come in until about 1 a.m. with the GFS, and I think really the models aren't going to do anything with it. You can do it yourselves. If you see the thing getting stronger, it's going to miss the islands. If it's getting weaker or ragged, it's going to stay more west and go in the Caribbean. I really think it's going to be that easy. So the RUC here, again, shows what we're talking about. These will probably last for another hour to 90 minutes. Let's go back to radar real quick. Show you what we're looking at. Let's run the latest loop. Okay, there it is. I don't think Ophelia is going to come this way, Jill. I think it's pretty unlikely. I mean, nothing is showing it blowing up in any of the area. Nothing showing a trough picking it up this way. I mean, it's in an area where, yes, history tells us we have to keep our eyes on it, but at this point, the odds of it hitting the U.S. are probably less than 10%. If it goes west, it's ragged. It could die completely. If it redevelops in the Western Caribbean, catches a trough, then we have to worry about it. But at this point, none of the models do that. The only one that does is the GFS, and it's not Ophelia. It's that other low-pressure area that lifts north toward us in day 10 to 14. So that makes more sense to me. So there you go. Zephyr Hills, yeah, you're actually right on it. In Zephyr Hills, you are going to get some pretty good rains out of this. There you go. And I guess that's about it. Linda, these chats are just, these are apparently, the weather chat is only because we have disruptive weather. And the one thing that I promised to the best of my ability is when we get disruptive weather, when we get some big storms, especially when it's not in the normal time, I'm going to come on and do some pinpointing of where the rains are, especially if there's anything severe, and answer questions as we can hear the thunder rumbling. So yeah, it is actually right over Zephyr Hills. And Randy, the difference between a twister and straight line winds come with a gust front very often, outflow boundaries. Tornado winds are the rotation that comes with a vortex that drops down from the cloud, obviously, a rotation. Straight line winds come with straight line wind gusts with a gust front, an outflow boundary, a cold front, a squall line, that sort of thing. They're very different, and you can tell by the damage the way that one goes compared to the other. So I guess that's about it. Yeah, Hillsboro, Northwest Hillsboro actually is. We'll take one more quick look if you're just getting in here. There it is. It's all moving north along 75 up through Pasco County. No severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. Lightning detection, as I'm looking over my other computer, you know, certainly the bulk of the lightning is in Pasco right now. It's all lifting north. Pinellas, you're going to get from Clearwater north, you're going to get a little bit of rain, not a ton of it, from downtown Tampa through 275, New Tampa, USF, Lutz, Temple Terrace, areas in north central Hillsboro up through south central Pasco, right along, you know, east of Trinity, closer to Land O'Lakes, Wesley Chapel, and eventually I think it'll start to wind down by the time it gets into Citrus. Polk, you're going to be right on the fringe of it. Valrico and Riverview, yeah, you're not going to get anything. It's over for you guys. However, I certainly do think that over the next few days, as we look closer at this, you'll be able to see that there is plenty of moisture coming in from the south. See all that down there? It's all moving in this general direction. So once the winds turn around out of the south completely, which I think they will later tomorrow, I would expect later Thursday into Friday our rain chances go up significantly. So I got to get ready for the 11 o'clock show. I just wanted to do a quick little hit on any severe weather, and of course, as always, if anything breaks at any point in time, I'll run over and do a quick update and let you guys know via Facebook. All right, so stay safe and have a good night's sleep, and we will talk to you guys soon, and I'll be on in 15 minutes with the new information on whether or not we have a new tropical depression or storm out there. How's that for a tease? I'll see you. Bye.